wake up tired, then you stay tired, and then you see your to-do list, and then it scares you, and then when you have to reply one email, it feels like you're climbing Mount Everest. What is that?
That's Bernard.
No, it's burnout.
Oh, my bad, guys.
Who's Bernard?
I don't know.
Oh my god. So do you want to share with the class what burnout is?
Yes, teacher. So, burnout is what happens when all that stress that you have that is just plaguing your poor mind, it builds up for so long, like a Lego tower, that your brain and your body just basically go, you know what? I am done.
Yeah, it is more than just being tired, okay? I'm gonna have to say that.
Yeah, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's a physical exhaustion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that is burnout territory.
Yeah.
Now why are we talking about burnout?
Because we're the Unplanted Wallflowers.
And why do we do this?
Because we talked about all things psychology.
Exactly.
Now let's get into it.
Yeah, so burnout and normal stress.
Two different things.
Yeah,
right?
they're two different things.
Please.
Don't think that, just because you're burnt out, you're stressed, or just because you're stressed, you're burnt out. They're completely different things.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be burnt out and stressed at the same time, but they are different things, though.
Mm-hmm. Because stress is like, oh, I have too much to do,
Yeah, and burnout is basically you can't physically and emotionally do this anymore.
Yeah, it feels like, you're crawling and then you just like give away.
Yeah, so stress is basically when you feel like everything is overwhelming, whereas burnout is when you feel like everything is empty, numb, and hopeless.
Yeah. So, but, a very common question is, where does it come from? And for this episode, to whoever answers this, I am going to give a packet of M&Ms. But I'm going to be giving those M&Ms.
Does it have peanuts in the center?
Because some of these people could be allergic to peanuts, I will say no.
Okay.
But
I like how you're being very inclusive for not allergic people, but yeah.
Thanks. But I'm not going to give this to you. I'm going to give this to Mahira.
Oh
Joke's on you.
Oh, because I'm going to answer it. So yeah, burnout usually builds up slowly over time.
Yeah. Like constant pressure,
overworking,
lack of rest,
unrealistic expectations,
or feeling emotionally drained,
or feeling like nothing you do is enough.
That is like
burnout.
That is burnout. Like it builds
not
up.
Bernard.
Not Bernard. Okay, it's burnout. It builds up constantly. All of these things, it starts small, but then over time it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, right? And then it just collapses, right?
Yeah.
But
so yeah, burnout is not just about working too hard.
mm-hmm.
Your emotional stress matters too.
Yeah, but again, like now that you know that where it comes from, right? It also you need to figure out like how it also becomes something or someone.
Basically the signs of burnout.
Yeah, I tried to say this in a very nice way. Okay.
It's like red flags when Bernard is Bernarding.
Bernarding.
So yeah, there are some physical signs, there are some emotional signs, and there are also some mental signs.
But we're gonna go into the physical signs first.
Exactly. So what are some examples?
Constant exhaustion, headaches, which is actually something even I didn't know until very recently, that headaches are a sign of burnout. Okay, look,
that was
not
me yesterday.
Oh my god, my Sheila. Look, not all headaches mean burnout. Okay, some headaches just mean you don't drink water properly. That's a you problem. Or
just because you got a headache does not mean that you have burnout. No.
Yeah.
Like
please don't go telling everyone.
Please do the math. Okay.
Yeah. Or trouble sleeping.
Yeah, or getting sick more often, feeling drained all the time.
It's like, oh my god, it's like sleeping for like 9 hours every day, and you are still waking up like a Victorian child with a tuberculosis, with your hands across your chest, and you're like, Mommy, I cannot wake up anymore. I think I'm going to die.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Vote on this. Should Savini be a voice actress? Yes or no?
Thanks, guys. I hope you vote yes.
And then we have emotional signs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you feel numb or you're irritated about stuff. you cry easily.
Yeah. This is not also just to show you. This is not the LinkedIn part. Well, not LinkedIn, Linkin Park. Oh my God! I'm sorry for offending like a whole army of LinkedIn fans for saying LinkedIn. It's not like I've become so. Not that. Okay, this is like feeling emotionally now. Okay, and you feel emotionally just detached from everyone.
Yeah, and then maybe you've lost motivation, so those are your emotional signs.
Yeah, like things you used to like find so much of joy in, just they don't interest you at all anymore.
You just find them exhausting too.
Exactly. Yeah, and then come
the mental signs.
No, the brain fog and just
forgetfulness.
Yeah, or you have so much like difficulty like concentrating on one task.
Yeah.
Right, or you just feel overwhelmed by like small tasks. Right, it's like you open your laptop. I think, look, this is a very common thing where you just open your laptop and you just want to just like disappear
into the woods
to grind myself. I'm sorry. This is like turning to a musical.
So yeah, we have different types of burnout too, like burnout in academic settings, burnout in workplace, and burnout with hustle culture,
social media.
I know, and then emotional burnout, all of those things.
Yeah,
we'll be covering them. Don't worry about that.
Now, again, as students, I think this is a very, very like relatable thing.
Yeah, it's common. It's normal. Don't feel ashamed of being burnt out. If you want to talk about it, go ahead, talk about it, because it's completely normal to feel burnt out. But don't keep being burnt out though. Like, try to treat it.
Yeah, which we will maybe get into.
Yeah.
So, some of the common things in terms of academic burnout is where you just study all the time, but you feel pretty unproductive. I think we've all experienced that during like exam season.
I know, right? And maybe you've lost interest in subjects you once liked. Like, I used to love literature, and at some point I felt burnt out because I mean, reading, analyzing, annotating, all of that stuff is like
and then sometimes your opinions don't even matter at the end because they're wrong. Then
how can an opinion be wrong?
You know what? Education department, fix this. And then or you feel super guilty when you're just trying to rest, right? Like it's like this thing running in your brain, like oh my god, like what are you doing? Like get the hell up and start working. Right? Or all you do is just run on deadlines and panic and not oxygen. Okay, all your entire life is dictated by these deadlines.
So it's basically like deadlines are the air you breathe.
It's like where you say, oh, okay, you know what, I'm gonna like rest after this assignment, but then jokes on you, there's like 14 more assignments.
That's sad. Luckily we don't have to go through that because our degree program is so chill. We don't really have to worry about such assignments and deadlines. At least for Savini and I, we start like way off. We don't procrastinate. We don't feel burnt out because of these assignments. Maybe we do feel burnt out
for like other reasons.
Stuff. But thanks to Althea for bringing this
go
degree program. We don't feel burnt out because of it.
Trust
me,
Althea.
we are not sponsored, okay?
Yes.
We are powered by Althea, but like this is like a personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
We love Althea for this.
Thank you, Althea.
Moving on.
And I think for any adults listening or even like students who have like doing internships and things like that in like I don't know, companies, like big corporate companies.
Yeah, there are people who work and study, like they have to balance that too.
Yeah, workplace burnout, it's very much a real thing because toxic work environments,
lack of appreciation,
overworking without the balance,
or unrealistic productivity expectations.
We could go on and on and on, but these are
a long list. It's like a bill.
It's like a big fat bill. Right. But these are just some of the more common ones that people do, mention like all the time, because sometimes they like before the work day even starts, they're done. Yeah,
they're emotionally exhausted already. So one other context we have is burnout and hustle culture.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, girl.
It's like when our modern culture sort of like glorifies overworking. They romanticize the whole.
Oh my god! Have you heard of the butter girl?
Oh my god, yes.
I love her. Okay, I always watch her TikToks and her, like, I follow her on Instagram and TikTok as well. She works in 9 to 5, and at the same, so 9 to 5 is like some other corporate job, and over that she does this butter business. So she always starts her video saying, I started a butter brand. And like, it's so cool, like I like how she's working a 9 to 5 and working on this whole butter thing.
Yeah.
She has no rest. Okay, I don't know how she manages her work and hustle balance, because I don't know, like she makes she churns the butter, okay,
Whoa,
like
really?
by hand. And I think it got to a point where she had to get a stand mixer and churn the butter like
Right.
that, because imagine like churning the butter like with her hand. It's so exhausting, so she's working around it, and
Yeah.
now she's getting an intern and
nice.
intern.
Yeah.
basically.
Oh.
It's so cool, like I like how she's branding this a whole butter thingy, and I really want to try out her butter as well. We're not sponsored by the Butter Girl, by the way. We are based in Sri Lanka, and she's like all the way in New York.
Hey, butter girl, if you ever hear this, I would
I
like some
know.
butter of yours.
Exactly, I would love to have that butter.
But that is just like a very good example of how people can balance,
Yeah.
burnout, like without being burnt out, but their work and their
No.
side hustle.
And it's great how she's working around it too.
Yeah, but then there are some people who, as I said earlier, they just glorify overworking, right? They'll be like, oh, you know what, I'll just sleep late. Ugh. Or people like, work harder.
No pain, no gain.
Or you should always be productive. Like, please.
Let's not. You need a break.
Yeah.
You really, really need a break.
Because
Unless you are passionate about something, of course. But like, if you are no longer, like, if you don't see that passion in that passion that you are passionate about, don't do it.
yeah, because look, and also you can't, associate like rest with like laziness, or people feeling guilty for taking breaks. You can't
Like, don't do that.
either. Yeah, you
Don't
can't do that either, because you can't be like bragging about surviving on 3 hours of sleep like it's an Olympic sport. Like, look, Mahir and I, we've had our fair share of like 3 hour sleep.
Yeah, currently recording this episode with just Savini probably 4 hours, me
Yeah.
with just 5 hours, I guess.
And
that's not enough.
It's not enough, and we're not bragging about
We're not
it.
bragging.
But
I feel ashamed about it, by the way.
Same. But people who do brag about it, it's not it.
Like,
Right.
it is normal to lose sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but don't normalize it too much.
Yeah, because it's not something to be proud of.
Yeah.
And then moving
Social
on,
media.
social media. I don't know if you've noticed, but social media is a very recurring topic in all of our episodes so far.
I mean, it's a
It's-
contemporary
yeah,
issue.
it is because social media, it sometimes it makes burnout even worse, because there's this whole comparison
Constant comparison.
with like other people, or
Yeah.
the whole productivity culture, right? Just because people decide to look, some people, yes, they can wake up early in the morning, put their face in an ice bowl, make like like a matcha and then a smoothie bowl, and then they go work out, and or they first work out and then make a smoothie bowl, and then they go put on their like really fancy sleep mask, or not sleep mask, sorry, like eye rejuvenating masks or whatever, and then they go to work like a whole 9 to 5, and in the middle of the 9 to 5 they go gymming and like grocery shopping or whatever, and then they come back home, they go gym again, and they're playing with their little dog in their apartment. Look, not then they like go out for like a gala or something, and then they go to bed. Like, not everyone can do that.
I don't think that's real, to be honest. I mean, if
Right.
someone can do that,
Good for
I'm
you.
proud of you, but I don't think that's real.
Because it makes you feel like you're like
Behind in life, people
yeah.
who don't get to live like that, they feel like they're behind on life.
Because they think everyone's like, oh my god, they're so successful
Yeah.
24/7. That's not real.
It's like, oh my god, hey, let me catch up to this, but you can never catch up to it because it does not exist.
It does not exist. Like, look, it's completely fine to be eating, I don't know, cornflakes or like Choco Pops.
Oh my god, that's what I had this morning.
No. At like, I don't know, 2 p.m. Who cares? If you want to eat your stupid cereal, eat your stupid cereal whenever you want. Okay? And if you want to eat like a big fat like meal at breakfast, do it. Okay. And then
We have
moving on.
emotional burnout.
What is
So yeah,
emotional
burnout is not always caused by school or work, because you know people can also experience burnout from relationships,
Yeah.
friendships,
Caregivers,
caregiving,
yeah.
emotional stress, family pressure. Oh my god.
Or like, you know, when you have to sort of support other people emotionally,
I know.
it's very, very tiring.
I have kind of been there in terms of
Yeah.
family, I guess.
Same. I can totally like relate to that. I think a lot of us, I think emotional burnout is like the thing that we almost all of us have. Like not everyone experiences.
Oh my
that.
god, and one
Yeah.
more thing. So like we are psychology students, right?
Mhm.
And people think that we can be therapists. And mind you, we are not qualified to be that. We are still undergraduates. We are learning as we go.
But people still come, they sit down and they
Yeah,
think
they be
like,
so Mahira, I know you're a psychology student. I think you can be my therapist, right? And I'm just there thinking, no.
no, I'm sorry, but no.
I mean, I can be a friend,
yeah.
but I can't be your therapist. Therapists are not friends. Friends are not your therapists. Like even therapists themselves, they say that they can't, you know, emotionally attach themselves with you.
Yeah.
They're just there for you to
Like-
regulate your emotions.
Yeah.
And however you want to, like whatever you want to do with your therapy.
Yeah.
therapist.
And that sort of leads us into us discussing like why it can be dangerous as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It can lead to like anxiety.
if you're not going to regulate your
Yeah.
burnout, it could lead to that. It could also
Yeah.
lead to depression symptoms.
And just so you know, we're not diagnosing. Okay, it's
Yeah.
just it can lead to this. Is
we
what
are
we're trying to
very
say.
theoretical about this.
Or it can like lead to like you emotionally shutting down, right?
Yeah, or your physical health can deteriorate as well.
Or you know you just have a complete loss and absence of motivation in your life, and you just feel disconnected from everything that you used to enjoy
Yeah,
doing.
which really sucks.
Yeah, and like, but what I also can tell you is ignoring this burnout. Look, this is also when you can address burnout and you can still find these symptoms very dangerous, but
Do not ignore
it.
burnout.
Yeah, burnout. Don't ignore burnout, because burnout is standing in that corner and it's just making your life worse.
I know.
Over
You know,
time.
think of burnout as like a spirit or something that you don't want around.
Like burnout, go away, right? But those are like some of the common things that, again, we're just being very general here, right? We're not like being very specific here.
Yeah.
But then also there are some common misconceptions among what burnout can be.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people say burnout just means you're lazy.
Dude, no.
No,
Don't
burnout.
call me lazy.
Yeah, burnout often happens because people who push themselves. So now we're gonna move on to our guest segment.
Yeah.
So let's bring up that phone.
Okay.
Hello, Metmi. Hi. So this is Metmi Lianage. She's a psychology research assistant. How are you, Metmi? I'm good.
Okay.
Nervous, but yeah.
Now I think we're gonna skip the
Small talk.
The small talk now. That's
I'm
enough.
honored.
That's oh, wow. Okay. So let's get into our first question for you today. How can someone tell the difference between actual burnout and just having a bad week?
Okay, so personally, I think having a bad week is like small things that's like happening that you feel is bad, but you're still able to like get up and like work a bit. But like burnout is usually for me, it's where you work a lot for a long period of time, and then you're like, even like looking at your work makes you dizzy, and like you just don't want to look at it at all. Like just the act of getting out of bed because you have to work feels really depressing, and like you don't want to do that. But yeah, so like for me, like a bad week would be like, oh, small bad things happening, or like, oh, I got a bad grade, but I can still keep going because I have to work. But then a burnout would be like, oh, these small things happen, and like I really don't want to. I can't work. It's not that I don't want to. I really want to, but I can't. It just feels like I don't have the energy to do it. But yeah.
Wow, that's so relatable.
I know, right?
I felt the pain in her voice.
Same. Anyways, moving on to the next question. What are some common things that people say right before they completely burn out, even if they don't realize it yet? So I think one thing is like, oh, I have to keep going. I need to do this. I need to get this done. It's like you can hear that they are forcing themselves, and like sure, most students are anyway like complaining and like saying, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. But then when you're like about to be burnt out, you can actually hear that they're tired and they really don't want to do it. It's like nothing can make them do it kind of, but they really 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 have to kind of. It's like I have to do this. It's like my deadline is tomorrow, but I have to, but I can't get up. It's like something like that is what I think most people like people would say when they're about to be burnt out. I'm not gonna lie, this whole segment feels like it's like a burnt out. Like, it's like we're seeing an episode of a burnt out today. I'm not gonna disagree.
I think Bernard, if I hope you all remember who Bernard is, we mentioned him at the beginning of our episode. I can just feel him staring. That's actually really creepy to say. I'm sorry. And for our last question, and I think Mithmi will really enjoy this question. Are there any fictional characters who show obvious signs of burnout, and what can we, learn from them?
Okay, so I do play a lot of games and watch a lot of anime, and yeah, but
you also read manga.
Yeah, I read manga. I'm basically like in the full otaku thing, but so one of the characters I've seen is like this character called Layla in a game called Genshin Impact. So she literally has sleepwalking episodes because she's so burnt out, and like she quite literally made a different personality that works while she's burnt out. That's like a kind of a dissociative disorder as well in that. But other than that, like literally anyone who's watched any school related anime, especially ones based in Japan, would see mostly burnt out characters. But like with anime, it's like, oh, they're very motivational sometimes, unless you look for specific sites. Anyway, but yeah, they're like, oh, we need to do this, and then they like find friends. But yeah, the biggest advice you can get from these fictional characters is that you should have a support system. Like sometimes it will feel like just the having you don't have the energy to even look for that support system or like ask for help. But then if you have a good support system, they will check in on you. This is like, this might hurt some people, but there are people who check in on you if they really do care about you, and that's kind of the main thing you can get from the fictional ones, because like in everything I've seen, the people who get burnt out, they have someone to be like, hey, stop, just rest for now, we can do this later. But yeah, so that's also one of the biggest advice I have is like, if you feel like you're getting burnt out, just like stop and like just pause, take a deep breath, and like if you want, just take a few hours of rest before you even think about your work again. But yeah, hope that helped.
Wow, that was very nice. I hope all these Genshin Impact fans out there and all these otaku fans out there, if they related. I mean, I'm sure everyone else did too.
Yeah. And by the way, we are not sponsored or
No.
anything by a Genshin Impact or any anime.
We wish, but no.
I'm just too heavily invested in the fictional world, so yeah, that's for the best I have to give. All right.
Wow.
Honestly, this is very, very, like it was like we could get a new perspective. Thank you so much, Metmi. It was nice having you here. You're welcome. It was nice being here. Yay! And call cut.
So that was our guest met me Lianage for you to talk about burnout. But unfortunately, we are burning out with this episode. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's been a joy to talk to you all. But we're just gonna, just give a little recap, of like our entire segment, just in case you all forgot.
I know, like you've been here for like what, 20-25 minutes or something,
Listening to our beautiful voices. But
So just so you know, burnout is not failure.
No, it's just a sign that your mind and your body have been under way too much pressure for just way too long.
Yeah.
And
And rest is not something you earn after destroying yourself first. Like, you can't just burn yourself out and then think, oh, okay, now I can have rest. No, you can't.
you are not a phoenix. As
Exactly.
much as there's the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Look, good mentality to have. In like times that are not exactly the best, but like be a little realistic. Okay.
Yeah. The moment you feel like you're burnt out, make sure you realize, oh, okay, oh my God, I'm starting to feel burnt out. It's time for rest.
Yes. Okay, so just, a small reminder. You are never meant to function like a machine. So please, for the love of God, stop feeling guilty for needing to rest like a human being that you are. And like that, we wallflowers are out. Goodbye.